Never begin any physical exercise program without first getting your doctor's approval to do so. Stop exercising immediately if you feel dizzy, nauseous, or any pain, and consult with your doctor immediately thereafter. The creators, producers, and distributors of this program disclaim any liability or loss in connection with the exercises and advice herein. Train safely and wisely.
Hi, I'm Alycia Kluegl. Today we're going to talk about weight loss. Your fit tip will be about nutrition for weight loss. Your Power 3 will be a workout for weight loss, and I'll also talk about ideal heart rate zones. And then your Aspire Higher will be all about celebrating your successes. This is Empower Your Body. So, here's your fit tip. I have people coming up to me constantly, whether it's in my building, whether it's at the store, whether it's emailing me. How do I lose weight? How do I lose weight? And not just me, let's face it. That's why we have all of these different nutritional diet plans out there, ways to eat, different cardio machines, programs, classes, gyms. Losing weight. First of all, 2/3 of Americans are either overweight or obese. 2/3 of Americans are either overweight or obese. Just think about that. And 1/3, and growing, are children under the age of 10. So, how do we lose weight? A couple of things. Ideally, you want to make sure we are not eating fast food, junk food, processed food. Junk food, chips, fast food. Do I have to name them? Even though now, isn't it McDonald's? They're actually saying, now we're using real beef. Could you guys take that in for a second? Now they're using real beef. What have they been using in their all beef patties for 30, 40, 50, 60 years? So stay away from junk food, fast food, processed food. Things in a can, things in a box. We want to be careful. They're filled with chemicals and additives and preservatives that not only mess with our brain, which make us hungry, mess with our insulin levels. It's really just unwanted calories and salt. So, many Americans are overweight, including children, more and more children, and it's because we went into this no fat, no carb, low carb, all of these different ways of eating. And in the end, it's not real, healthy, wholesome food. So we're giving them to our kids, and now they're increasing in their obesity or overweight rates. Now, granted, we also have a lot of smartphones, and kids are now playing video games more than ever. I mean, when I was outside, it was go outside after school and you just go till you come back when it's dinner time. So things have changed. Life has changed. The way we live, our habits have changed. I get that. But how do you eat in a fashion to allow you to lose weight? There is an eating plan out there that I tend to lean towards, and that's Weight Watchers. I'm not completely promoting them or supporting them. But out of all of these different ways of eating, I really think Weight Watchers not only works, but it allows you to be aware of how much you're eating. It allows you to understand healthy food you can keep eating. Fruits and vegetables. Please be careful of how these diet plans out there that you watch and that you eat, the paleo diet and these South Beach diet and the things that tell you you can't eat fruit. Guys, fruit is good. It's natural, filled with fiber, vitamins, minerals, came right from the ground or the trees. It's healthy, low in calories, filled with water and fiber. Did I say that? So, again, reel me back in. How to eat in a fashion that allows you to lose weight. Nutrition for weight loss. Depending on your sex and your age and your weight and who you are, your makeup, determines how many calories to take in. Generally speaking, 1,500 calories, 14, 13, 1,200, 16, 17. It depends on where you are. I know that's a big variance. Again, seek a professional to tell you exactly. But we are eating way over. One of the most surprising things that I find with the people I work with is that after we do an assessment on them, a nutritional assessment, it's not that they didn't know how to eat healthy or know what they kind of needed to do to lose weight. It's that the biggest aha moment they have is that they say, I can't believe how much I was eating. I was eating 2,500 calories, 3,000 calories, 2,200 calories a day. That's what's most surprising to them. We know for the most part, stay away from fast food, stay away from processed food. As an adult, I'm sorry to say, you cannot drink a lot of alcohol and lose weight. You just can't. Unless you starve yourself, and then you're not healthy, okay? So in order to eat in such a way for caloric intake, for you to lose weight, you want to get assessed at how many calories to take in, avoid the natural food, the things that we assume to be bad. Now, if you go to the store and you say, oh, but look at these crackers, look at these cookies, they say, you know, half the calories or low fat. Guys, don't listen to that. Look at the food label on the back of foods. The front is all advertising and marketing and was paid to someone to make you buy it and make you think it is good for you. That's the whole idea. They want to sell it. They hire a company. How will you sell this? Let's make people happy. Let's make them think that it's healthy. Look at the back. Look at the food label. The ingredients, the nutritional intake, the calories, sodium, and so forth, that doesn't lie. The front is perception. They want you to believe that. The back doesn't lie. So look at the food you're eating. Make sure you're eating food that is low in fat, low in saturated fat, low in cholesterol, low in sodium, high in vitamins and minerals, high in protein, high in fiber, and not overwhelming for calories. You know, a slice of bread is probably going to cost you about 80 to 100 calories. But I'd rather you take in the slice that's 110 if it's healthier for you. So just to summarize, how to eat to lose weight? Eat healthy, avoid processed food, fast food, and junk food. Make sure that you're taking in 1,500 to 1,800 calories on average. It could go a little lower, could go a little higher depending on who you are. Don't fall for advertising on the front of these covers. Stick with real foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, you know, yogurts. Again, if you have any dairy inflammation or dairy allergies, you know, we have to be careful. But eat in a way that allows you real food intake, nourishes your body, and then we're going to talk about the exercise coming up. So that is your Power 3. No. Thank you for bearing with me right now. My brain is on all these foods. That is your fit tip. So your Power 3 is all about how to be in your heart rate zone so that you are most efficient and effective with caloric burn and you're safest with your output cardiovascularly. The Carvonin method is ideally used, which takes 220 minus your age, minus your resting heart rate, times percentage of what workload we're looking from maximum. 50 to 70% of maximum, according to the Centers for Disease Control, are moderate workout intensity, and anything over 70 is considered more vigorous. So you take 220 minus your age, minus your resting heart rate, times whatever percentage. Say we're using 80%, it's then times 0.80. And then you add your resting heart rate again. And that will give you the point in which you want your heart rate to be at 80%. For you, your individual, whatever age you are and that you use, that is the heart rate you want to be at. And then I would do it again for myself, if I was working, I would do 60% and I would do 85%. And that would give me a range in which I needed to have these individuals working out. The Carvonin formula, though, does have a bit of an obstacle because you cannot really accurately find your resting heart rate unless you're just waking up in the morning. When you're at the doctor's office and they're taking your blood pressure, sometimes our heart rate's a little higher, right? And if we're woken up by a dog, an alarm clock, or another person, our resting heart rate will definitely not be low. So Carvonin is good. Ideally, generally speaking, you can go 220 minus your age, times 60%, that'll give you the first number, and then times 80%, and that'll give you the two zones. Just like you're driving on the highway, you get a zone, don't go lower than 50, don't go higher than 70. It gives you an idea in which you're safe, you won't get a ticket. You drive at the 50, you burn less gas. You're working out at the 60%, you're burning less calories, a little bit higher. You're driving more, you're burning more gas, burning more calories. So you get the idea. This gives you an idea of your heart rate zone. Why is it important? You're safe, you're efficient, and you're effective. What can you do to increase your output or your ability to burn calories, which again is very important for weight loss, right? A couple of things. It's all dependent upon where you currently are. If you are sedentary and you have bad knees and you are on tons of medication and you are overweight, then you want to start by simply walking or even sitting in a chair and just moving your arms. So it all depends upon what your current fitness level is, current health, where you are medically. If you want to go a little bit higher and output a little bit more, then maybe somebody who's used to walking can maybe start doing a bicycle. Or somebody who's been jogging can maybe start jumping rope. Ideally, you want to work about 3 to 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week for about 60 minutes. Moderate activity, I'd say 70–75% of your heart rate zone, maximum heart rate zone. Because remember, 220 minus your age is your max. Don't go past that. Then you take a percentage of it. 50%, 60%, 70%, 80% of it. That'll give you your zone. So lots of things you can do. Now, what do I do when people tell me, Alycia, I just have no time to exercise? I say there's always time to be active. You don't have to call it exercise. Maybe you get up a little bit earlier if you take the bus and you get off a stop earlier. Be safe, of course. Walk a little more. Going to the store, park a little further away. If your knees and your hips can handle it, try taking some stairs a little bit more often. I live in a high-rise with 30 floors. Some of my clients at 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm like, we're climbing all the way up. They have strong legs, strong knees, men and women, 60s, 70s, and they're good to go. So try outputting a little bit more safely. Again, don't have much time? Do you vacuum your home? Vacuum your home. Take your dog for a walk. There's always a way, guys. You're talking to somebody who comes up with solutions for exercise, okay? Maybe you don't have to term it. You don't have to put on the outfit. You don't have to have 60 whole minutes. You don't have to drive anywhere. Just move. Just move more, okay? So there you go. I've shown you where ideally you'd like your heart rate. You want some clarification in that. You have to work with a professional. And there's always a way to be active. Here's what I'm going to also tell you. That it's about metabolic rate, right? So that's about heart rate, burning calories. But what really works for long-term weight loss to stay off of you is increasing your metabolic rate, okay? So how do we do that? Eating properly, moving, keeping the engine strong, but muscle. When people have muscle, they have a higher rate in which they burn fat and calories. You ever see those people? They eat whatever they want. They could keep eating, keep eating. That's because their internal fire is through the roof. How do we do that? Let's be efficient. We know I like to be efficient. By working large muscle groups. You work your legs, back muscles. These are large muscle groups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together 3 exercises that you can do that work your back. It will not only help with burning calories, increasing metabolic rate, but it will also help with posture, which will therefore help your back. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you this first. This is just a regular resistance band. They come in different colors. Probably yellow and green are the easiest, and then blue is the middle, and then we have red and black. Usually black is probably the hardest, okay? We're going to use this one right here. Hook it around something that is stable and will not go anywhere. It is very, very important to make sure that it is stable. And also, guys, I like to test out the bands a little bit beforehand. Make sure it's not going to snap. Feet are hip width. Soft knees. I'm not leaning back. From my shoulders to my hips are a straight line. I'm rowing back. and forward, and forward. Exhale when I pull in. Now when I pull it back, a lot of times people do this, round their wrists. Please do not flex your wrists like that. You pull the elbows back and your wrists stay straight. So not this, this. Good. Squeezing the shoulder blades. Your shoulders are out of your ears. Like that, not this. There you go. I'd say do about 20 of these. Afterwards, let the band hang. You can round your shoulders, get a little bit of a stretch if you'd like. The second activity will be a dumbbell row, and I will grab this. First, we have a 10-pound dumbbell. I'm gonna put our left foot forward, right foot is back, left hand is here, flat back, my form is very important, and row up, and row up, and row up. Kind of like starting a lawnmower. Remember the days when we did that? Some of you may. And row up, and row up. Now, here's what I don't want to see. Dropping and up. Which actually, this is probably more like the lawnmower, right? Just like this. Feet are forward, flat back, don't round your back, and up. And I say again, you find a weight that feels safe for you. I'm using a 10-pound weight. You know, depending on your fitness level, you may go a little bit higher. Try about 10 to 15 repetitions. Then I like to go just a little bit of a lighter weight. I'm just going to show you with real little weights right now. If your back hurts, you have lumbar issues, sacrum issues, please be careful. Feet hip width, give yourself nice stability. If you've watched my show, you know transverse abdominis, very important. And some rear flies. Now there's no need to go past this point. You do not have to go much further back. Your shoulder joint is not a very stable joint. It doesn't care or feel good going past its normal range. It's not like the hip joint, that the ball and socket, that's really in there. The shoulder joint is not. And back, and again, my shoulders stay out of my ears. I'm not rounding my back in doing this. I'm in control of what I'm doing. Nice and strong. And again, I would do about 10 or 12 repetitions. I would do about 10 or 12 repetitions. Lightweight to start out. And you know, if you're not used to this, just use your body. Just start out with your arms at first. Get your joints acclimated to the motion, get some fluid, get some blood flowing through the joints and the muscles. And also, you want to make sure you have that you have good flexibility. You want the kind of flexibility that will allow your arms to go back. If you're very tight in your chest, you're never going to be able to go back. So there's so much to say, guys, really, but I'm just giving you a basic idea. How to burn a ton of calories. You basically make sure that your heart rate is where we want it to be most efficient and safe. What can you do to do that? Anything from walking and vacuuming to hiking and jumping rope. And also the key is to make sure that you work on your metabolic rate, not just increasing caloric burn. How do we work on metabolic rate? Working large muscle groups, because you want some muscle. So I'll show you those 3 back exercises and you guys can follow me now, okay? Let's do them together. This is the right form. Not rounded, this way. All stable. Your hips matter, your foot placement matters, everything matters. That's why you gotta learn how to do this right from the beginning. 4, 3, 2, great. Now we grab that dumbbell. I did the right arm before, now I'll switch. If you feel like you have a weak back, you can also, a chair or a bench or something, you can kind of put this here so that you have something to help with your back. Just make sure it's good enough to hold you. And again, I really like a good basic 10, 12, 15 repetitions. If they're too easy, it's too easy, right? So you want like the last 2 or 3 to be pretty challenging. And then after that, again, you grab your lighter weights or no weights if you're just starting out. And you never want to just force it, right? You never just want to swing. You really want to have control of your body. Everything is helping my arms right now. My hips, my glutes, my foot placement, placement, my abdominals, my back. Everything is holding it, is helping. Everything is a helper. That's why if you have a bad back or a bad hip, we might have to modify things for you, right? But generally, working your back, this helps with posture. So if you put all of this together, you basically know what you want your speed to be, your heart rate, where you're safe and efficient. There's always a way to be active. No matter how much time you have, there is always a way to be active. Number 3 is, the key is really the metabolic rate. And then I just showed you 3 exercises for your upper back, rhomboids, middle trap, rear deltoids, that will help with posture and our large muscle groups, not the rear delt, but upper back in general, so that you can burn as many calories as possible. So that is your Power 3. So here's your Aspire Higher. I would like you to learn how to and implement and practice celebrating your successes. Why do I say this? With weight loss, say someone has 30, 40, 50, 60, 10 pounds to lose, and they lose 2. I've heard on so many different occasions, I've only lost 2 pounds. Yeah, but I've only lost 2 pounds. All that work and I only lost 2 pounds. So I ask them this. When they gain 2 pounds, it's only 2 pounds. It's only 2 pounds. And they're like, but it's 2 pounds. And I'm like, why don't we turn that into the positive when you lose 2 pounds? We want to make sure that we celebrate our successes. You lost 2 pounds. That's a deficit of 7,000 calories, minus some water weight and so forth. But you've lost 2 pounds. I've only lost 4 pounds. Okay, well, let's turn it into you gained 4 pounds. You see the reality, you see the thinking, you see the thought process, you see the way that we need to embrace our successes, celebrate our successes, because there's only a couple of options. Either you'd like to lose 30 pounds. Your options are this: gain weight, stay where you are, or lose weight. If you gain weight, will you be happy? Probably not. If you stay where you are, will you be happy? Probably not. So when you lose weight, why are you not going to be happy? Right? Think about it, guys. Otherwise, you're never happy. If I lose weight, I'm not happy. If I gain weight, I'm not happy. And if nothing changes, I'm not happy. The losing, no matter how much it is, a pound or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, no matter how much you have to lose, is success. It is a reward and a consequence for the hard work you've put in to losing weight. It is a way for you to celebrate all the consequences and the hard work you've done. Give yourself a pat on the back. Recognize the tactics and the techniques you used. Duplicate them and keep celebrating. I have a client. It's been 5.5 weeks. She's lost 9 pounds. Healthy weight loss is between 1 to 2 pounds a week. Face it, I don't care what kind of diet you go on. I don't care what kind of meal plan you go. If you're losing 10 pounds in 2 weeks, it is not safe unless you are morbidly obese and drastically cutting your calories, okay? But for the average person who's 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, if you are losing that much weight that fast, something's not right. The chance of it lasting really does decrease. So she loses a total of 9. The first couple of weeks in, she's like, I only lost 3 pounds. Yeah, but I only lost 2 pounds. Yeah, but I only did this. And I'm like, but you did, you lost it. Okay, she kind of, you know, she follows my suggestions, follows my lead, right? Now, she's like, she was at a party the other night. There's some kind of like barge that floats in the East River of Manhattan. And you like go on and you bring your own food like a picnic and you have a nice time. She didn't overeat, she made healthy choices, and she came back the next day and she's like, wow, I'm 9 pounds down now. And I had one question after listening to her and supporting her and loving her. I said, why didn't you overeat? And she's like, why would I mess with my success? I mean, that's so awesome, guys. I don't care who's filming, who's doing what out there. That's what life's about, right? Treating yourself well and celebrating it. And learning and working through the challenging times that we might have in our brain, in our heart, in our soul, to get to that point of celebration. And she simply, and this was a woman who weeks before was like, I only lost. Yeah, but I only lost. It seemed so far away. And she comes back to me several weeks later and is like, why would I mess with my success? Do you see what fitness can do? Do you see what wellness can do? Do you see what celebrating your successes can do? Do you see what honoring your body and wanting to improve your self-esteem and treat yourself well can do? You celebrate life. You see things differently. And that's why I have this Aspire Higher section on my show. Not just because my grandmother always said it growing up, honey, aspire higher, and it's a homage to her, but it's also because it's key to wellness. It's not just about what you eat and what exercises you do. It is about rest. It is about how you manage stress. It is about the people you keep around you. It is about your inner dialogue. It is about the energy you give out and the energy that you let in. It is not just about exercise and food. If it was, we'd be robots. We are not, and that's why it's Empower Your Body. We are all about making sure to help you. Our mission is to help you achieve your optimum level of wellness. Not just a robot. Sure, somebody wants to run a race, somebody wants to improve the size of their arms, somebody wants to fix bursitis in their shoulder, just had a hip replacement, that's easy. That's science, I could do that, that's easy. But to see change in somebody in just a short amount of time that beats themselves up for not having enough, to then celebrates themselves for having everything they've tried to achieve in weight loss. So what I say to you guys is, I get very excited, is that if you don't celebrate your successes, who will celebrate them? It must be you. Now, when you start changing your ideas and in your mind and in your head, what happens is that everything else then changes. You won't grab for that junk food or that food that is going to be, it won't nourish you. Celebrate yourself. Your whole life will change. So please, look at your weight loss goals, look at your health goals, look at your fitness goals, look at your emotional goals, look at your financial goals, look at your spiritual goals. And any success that you have is success. Where you go from that point forward is dependent upon how you feel, how you support yourself, or you badmouth yourself, your inner dialogue. So that is what I have to say today for you, for your Aspire Higher, and go celebrate yourself. So I'm Alycia Kluegl. Thank you for watching Empower Your Body. I hope you continue to watch, where we will offer you motivational tips, effective workouts, and inspirational Aspire Hires. Don't ever forget, please, to be well, eat well, drink plenty of water, guys, and don't ever forget to empower your body.